Alright guys, welcome back. So for the past 2 months, I've been playing 17 Idle Adventure because it was an open beta if you were in the UK or Malaysia. And after the last update that we covered in my last video about idols, the game now felt complete. And it almost felt like if the game was going to come out. To the point that I even said I wouldn't be surprised if the game comes out this week or this month. And well, we've now got an official release date. So yeah, they posted this, which is the Grand Cross cutscene, but then it turns all chibi. It's a global legendary game, what does it say? Global legendary game, but make it tiny, a bite-sized anime adventure, and it goes in a little chibi form. Pretty cool, actually. So I do believe they do show a new character in here, unintentionally. Yeah, right here. So this is like, what, Season 2 Diane, where she has a Gideon, has a Sacred Treasure, which is currently not available in the game. So a little bit of a leak there. And I'm kind of hiding it, but you can see like Escanor and I guess even Golfer and Merlin, who are currently not in the game right now. And yeah, that's like the new trailer announcing the game is coming out on the actual 13th, so only like 4 days time. And then you have this little trailer here, which I can appreciate a little bit because they put effort into it, right? They actually kind of made like an opening. Like that's something Grand Cross doesn't really do, is they don't really make it look like an opening. Where this, like, you get like the little chibi music going on here. And like the classic anime cliches of like looking in the distance, and then I think later on you start jumping off something. So you kind of get the like anime vibe, like anime opening vibe, right? Yeah, like the running away. There's Escanor. Probably a little bit of a tease about what he's going to do. This could be a new barn as well. I mean, it's cool. I'm not going to lie, it's cool. And there we go. So yeah, that is yeah, all the trailers. So they've also posted some patch notes. So the big thing to take away is that they're going to be adding our first new character in the game. Despite the game being out for 2 months, they have released a new character, because why would they release characters when they do say here server merge? So I believe the global, or I guess the UK side or people would have a massive advantage over everyone else because we have 2 months of playtime, where people who are starting now don't. Which I am curious how it's going to work out, because people have been obviously grinding the game. You know, are we going to just dominate all the ranks? I'm not entirely too sure, because if you look at this right now, if you haven't played the beta, I'm rank 146, right? Like almost top 100. But if you look at my rewards, I'm only top 20% because our server is so small. So hopefully when they release the world globally, you know, I actually will be in top 10%. So yeah, the first character is Dragon Sin and Wrath Meliodas. Which, if you look at Grand Cross, it's going to be the demon one. So this would be probably the red one, right? I doubt they should do the blue one, actually, because the blue one's more iconic, the artwork at least. So yeah, you have to wait and see how he plays that in game. Also, 2 new events, of course, Meliodas, and of course, Barn, which Barn's already in the game, but he is like the launch character, one of the best characters, if not the best character in the game right now, probably up until Meliodas' release. So for new players, you know, celebrate his release too, right? Because he's actually still probably going to be important. So, yeah, Server Merge, we'll see how that's going to handle. If the UK and Malaysia teams can be, like, just super ahead of everyone. Also, ongoing events. So, they're going to be, obviously, extending the Barn, Jericho, and Matrona summons. Currently, right now, they end in literally, like, 5 days' time. Not entirely too sure why they're extending Jericho and Matrona, if I'm being honest, because they're not, I mean, no, Jericho, good. But Matrona, not so much, right? But Jericho, like, you kind of use that, like, low dupe levels because of her actual bust, right? Where Barn, people are going to summon for him, especially if there's any Meliodas too. We're going to be busy summoning for those 2 characters. So yeah, that is going to wrap up today's video. Once again, I'll probably make a few videos on the channel leading up to the release and a little bit afterwards, but not go too crazy because, well, the game is an idle game. You can't do too much. So we'll obviously do some guides a little bit to help you get started in the game, because I've been playing for 2 months. But the game, from when I started, is much different than when you lot are going to start if you haven't actually already played the game, because they're giving out so much new rewards now to where you can get legendaries a lot earlier. You can get like a not maxed out, but you can get a few dupes like the Yan and Gilfunder, also Hendrickson, Arthur. They've also buffed legendaries recently as well, so they're a bit more usable at 1 star. So if I was progressing through the game, I didn't even use any literally legendaries other than Barn and King, who were obviously the best at the time, and I maxed that Barn basically very early on. And they've also buffed the banners too recently to where you can now get legendaries. Granted, they are at a lower rate, but before you have to get to level 5 to unlock legendary characters to have a chance to get them, obviously 0.1%. But then before, you can see it drops down drastically, right? Because they don't really want you to pull the legendaries, but you still can. So as you can see, you level up your summons. When you're, I mean, there's no point in rerolling. 0.001, you're probably not even going to get a legendary here, but you can, and someone will probably get legendary. But I'd say that by far the best thing for like when starting new is that there is a chance to pull at least 1 or 2 legendaries while going up to level 5, where when I started all the way up to level 5, I had 0 chance. So you may not get one, but if you do, then hey, you're going to be happy because it can help you out a little bit, especially in early game, because now, like I said, the legendary characters have been buffed a little bit, right, where they are a bit more usable. And when you're progressing through the game, you probably will use them a little bit more than what I did, because, well, I didn't have the option to use them because they were just all terrible at 1-star. Not too sure if people from different servers can join, but when the game does launch, we do have a guild called Fallout Apocalypse. Snag that name quick, so if you want to join it, we still have some spots here. Plus, I kick people after they don't play for like 2 days. So, yeah, boys, thank you for watching the video, and yeah, peace.